Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. When President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga entered into the handshake in March 2018 after the bitterly contested general election in 2017, it was expected that the two brothers were going to embark on a tour of the country to sell the handshake. Because the fact of the matter is that President Uhuru Kenyatta's supporters never embraced that handshake. Raila Odinga supporters also never embraced the handshake. And it was expected that they were going to go to their supporters, explain to them why they entered into the handshake, everything about the handshake. But Raila Odinga managed to convince his supporters to embrace the handshake. President Uhuru Kenyatta, because he never went to his supporters, failed to convince them up to this stage. In fact, the main reason why the deputy president managed to consolidate his support base in the larger Mount Kenya region and stamp his authority is because President Uhuru Kenyatta never convinced his supporters to embrace the handshake. And when it became very clear that President Uhuru Kenyatta was not going to support his deputy, four camps emerged around President Uhuru Kenyatta's circles, because the president made it clear through signals that he was not going to support his deputy. And of course, William Ruto also suspected that this handshake was not good for him. So four camps emerged around the president's circles. The first camp which emerged was a group of people who were pushing for the president to just support his deputy, because they believed that by President Uhuru Kenyatta not supporting his deputy, he was going to break an agreement which they had. And they also believed that it was going to be easy to make William Ruto the president than to make any other individual. So this group actually tried so hard to persuade the president, but that group was subdued and they surrendered. But they were sympathetic to the deputy president because they had worked with the deputy president. Most of them believed that the DP supported Uhuru, and therefore Uhuru just needed to return the favor. The second group which emerged around the president was the group which was pushing for a compromise candidate. As a matter of fact, this group believed that because of the bitter fallout between the president and his deputy, and also the kind of political fight between the deputy president and Raila Odinga, that they needed to support a compromise candidate. In their minds, they thought that bringing up Musalia Mudavadi and Kalonzo Musyoka together and winning the support of the Kikuyu nation, because they believed that the Kikuyu nation were not going to support Raila Odinga, but can easily support either Musalia Mudavadi or Kalonzo Musyoka. They were pushing for that compromise candidate. And this is the group which was supporting One Kenya Alliance. And this is the group which made Musalia Mudavadi very bitter, because they had convinced Musalia Mudavadi that he was going to be the compromise candidate. So when President Uhuru Kenyatta made it very clear that he was going to support Raila Odinga, Musalia Mudavadi had to take off bitterly. And that's why Musalia Mudavadi left, just to teach them political lesson. And then there was the third group around the president. This third group believed very strongly that because of the political situation at that time, that it was possible for one of them to be propelled to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. And they floated the names of Fred Matiang'i as a presidential candidate. And of course, you know, Fred Matiang'i actually started campaigning and being paired with or to Mutahi Kagwe. So that was the third group. This third group were majorly those who were in government, and the president didn't see any value in them. So this group was also subdued. And then there was the last group. The last group which was supportive of President Uhuru Kenyatta's choice of Raila Odinga. This group believed that it was going to be easier to support Raila Odinga to become the president, even without much support from the larger Mount Kenya region. They believed that Raila Odinga on his own has always won the presidency, or if not, has always come very close to the presidency. And therefore, they only needed the deep state and the state machinery to make Raila Odinga the president. This is the group where the president was. And this group comprised of many people, but unfortunately for them, majority of the people in the deep state felt that supporting a compromise candidate was the best option. So when President Uhuru Kenyatta finally stamped his authority and directed his troops to support Raila Odinga, there's a group which is still resisting. And this is the group which mostly was supporting the deputy president and mostly who was supporting the compromise candidate. So as we speak in this country today, Raila Odinga is running for the presidency with the support of President Uhuru Kenyatta, but is not getting enough support from President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies. So in this video, I want to explain to you guys how these guys are actually frustrating Raila Odinga's bid to become the next president of the Republic of Kenya. Before we do that, if you're watching this channel again for the first time, please, I want you to take a second or two, click that subscribe button so that next time we produce a video like this, YouTube will automatically notify you. And to the subscribers, I want to continue to thank you guys for your continued support, because without that support, this channel cannot be where it is. Now, let us get back to the main issue, and I want us to be very brief. The question is, how is this group frustrating Raila Odinga's bid for the presidency? The truth of the matter is that there are certain things President Uhuru Kenyatta ought to have done, but he has not done. Why? Because his team is not agreeing to some of those moves. The first thing which the president ought to have done was the joint rallies with Raila Odinga. In fact, President Uhuru Kenyatta lost the Mount Kenya support because he failed to go to the people. Immediately after the handshake, President Uhuru Kenyatta was advised to start going to the ground. Then he failed to go to the ground. When he embraced Raila Odinga and those who are supporting Raila Odinga started making good progress, President Uhuru Kenyatta was advised that the best thing for him to do was to take the gospel of Raila Odinga to the larger Mount Kenya region, accompanied by Raila Odinga or with Raila Odinga. At some point, these people convinced the president that because Raila Odinga was the candidate, Raila Odinga needed to go to the ground himself first so that they could see the reaction. The truth is, Raila Odinga embarked on a journey of the mountain, trying to climb the mountain alone. Indeed, he succeeded, but the president failed. So the first frustration is the joint rallies or campaigns between with the president or Raila Odinga or President Uhuru Kenyatta taking Raila Odinga to the ground. Why are they thwarting attempts of President Uhuru Kenyatta to campaign with Raila Odinga in the larger Mount Kenya region? The first reason they are giving is that the president might be heckled. The question then is, why should President Uhuru Kenyatta be heckled in his own backyard? If the president can be heckled in his own backyard, it means something is wrong. So let President Uhuru Kenyatta go to mountain and see if he will be heckled. If he's going to be heckled, then it means something is wrong somewhere. The people the president entrusted failed him. So they're saying that if President Uhuru Kenyatta were to go with Raila Odinga to campaign together, then a group of youths will be facilitated, will be organized to heckle the president. We saw President Uhuru Kenyatta going to Sagana. Was he heckled? The truth is, there were a group of people or youths who were hired to attempt to heckle the president. But when the team arrived, they found that the ground was good for the president, and therefore they couldn't attempt such thing. Of course, the truth is, William Ruto supporters, especially people like Rigathi Gachagua, people like Ndindi Nyoro, are good at organizing hecklers to heckle the president. But let the president be heckled so that he can figure out why he's being heckled, then he can fix those things. So that's the first reason they're giving why the president should not go with Raila Odinga. The second reason is that they're saying that if President Uhuru Kenyatta were to go to the larger Mount Kenya region, then the president is going to be exposed to unnecessary attacks. Let me ask you a question. If President Uhuru Kenyatta is coming from the larger Mount Kenya region and he has failed to perform ABCD, is that an attack on the president? It means these people probably have failed on their responsibilities. But they fear that if President Uhuru Kenyatta were to go to mountain and embrace or publicly endorse Raila Odinga, then people like Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, that group will start attacking the president. But it's better for the president to be attacked, pushing for what he believes on, or in my view, rather than supporting Raila Odinga and inviting people to State House and telling them to support Raila Odinga while they can't do it publicly. If the president can't support Raila Odinga publicly because he fears he's going to be attacked, then why is he the president of the Republic of Kenya? Why? So the president must get out, go there, let people attack him. If he can't do that, then that's what I call now a lame duck president who cannot control his own succession politics. Number 3, they're also saying that if President Uhuru Kenyatta and Raila Odinga were to go for joint rallies, then it will be confirmed that indeed Raila Odinga is a state project or maybe a puppet. Why only in the larger Mount Kenya region? The truth of the matter is that by President Uhuru Kenyatta campaigning for Raila Odinga supporters are going to get out in their large numbers to go and support Raila Odinga. In fact, the only thing they were waiting was for that signal that the president is supporting Raila. But why should President Uhuru Kenyatta's allies be concerned about Raila Odinga being tagged as state project? It is upon them and upon the president to dismantle that narrative, because we all know that William Ruto has never contested for the presidency. Raila Odinga has contested for the presidency before. So Raila Odinga cannot be anybody's puppet. Or let me say, Raila Odinga cannot be someone's project. If it was someone's project, it means Raila Odinga would not be running. The mere fact that Raila Odinga has contested for the presidency 4 times, this is his 5th times, then he cannot qualify to be a puppet. He cannot be qualified to be a state project. He can only qualify to be someone who is enjoying the support of the state. So the reasons they are giving are actually very flimsy reasons. And the 4th reason they are also giving is that if Raila Odinga were to go with Uhuru in the larger Mount Kenya region, then it's going to ignite this hustlers versus dynasty narrative. That President Uhuru Kenyatta is a son of a dynasty. That Raila Odinga is a product of the dynasty. This is the moment for President Uhuru Kenyatta to go to the people of the larger Mount Kenya region and explain to themselves why he is a dynasty this time, while the deputy president supported him in 2013 and 2017. Kwani when the deputy president was supporting him in 2013, was he not a dynasty? Was he not a son of Mzee Kenyatta? When Raila Odinga was fighting for the liberation of this country, was he not a son of Jaramogi? This is the time for the president to take on some of these challenges head on. Otherwise, this group of people are sabotaging the president without the president knowing. The truth of the matter is that if you look at the history of William Ruto, he has never supported a hustler. All his entire political life, he supported the dynasty. He supported Moi, he supported Raila, the same Raila. He also supported Uhuru. In fact, this is the time to go publicly and tell, like for example, the people of the larger Mount Kenya region are saying that they are tired with the Kenyatta family. The other parts of the country are saying that Kenyatta family have ruled. Now the question is, if Ruto did not support, or if Ruto never supported Uhuru, do you think Uhuru would have been a president? That's the question. They should begin from there. So they must gather the courage and go outside there. And number 5, they're also saying that if Raila Odinga were to be accompanied by President Uhuru Kenyatta, then Uhuru would be seen to be interfering. Interfering with what? Who has never supported a presidential candidate? Kibaki kept quiet. But we all know that Kibaki supported President Uhuru Kenyatta through all means he could. Without Kibaki supporting Uhuru, Uhuru would not have become the president of the Republic of Kenya. Again, if the president cannot determine who becomes who succeeds him, then why is he the president in the first place? So these grounds these guys are giving, in my view, are all flimsy. So the first thing they are doing is to frustrate Raila Odinga and President Uhuru Kenyatta's joint campaign. The other thing which is coming out also very clearly is that Raila Odinga is not being sold as a brand in the larger Mount Kenya region by these guys. On that, I can say there could be right that selling Raila Odinga is going to weaken some aspirants, which is okay. But if, for example, Kanini Kega is running in the mountain Sabina Chege is running in the mountain on Jubilee. And for them to win their seats, they must not necessarily associate with Raila Odinga as a brand. That's okay. But there's a way these guys can go outside there and brand Raila Odinga. You see the way President Uhuru Kenyatta branded Jubilee when he started this campaign, billboards all over. There is nothing which stops these people from getting billboard spaces in the larger Mount Kenya region without any image of any aspirants, but just put the image of Raila Odinga outside there. Nothing stops them. Because Raila Odinga is the candidate. If it's Azimio, nothing stops them. And lastly, they are not giving out very clear messages to their people. Some of these allies of the president or the deep state are very influential people. The message they should be giving outside there about Raila Odinga is that Raila Odinga is the next president of the Republic of Kenya. I like the way Kanini Kega always puts it, Baba the fifth. But there's a group which is really frustrating this team which is out. There's a team from Mount Kenya, people like Maina Kamanda, Kanini Kega, Sabina Chege, you can call the governor for Kiambu, Nyoro, you can talk of David Murade. You know, there's a team which is seriously campaigning for Raila Odinga. But the messaging from, supporting messaging from these allies of the president is not forthcoming. I don't know what you think, but personally, I strongly believe that there's a group around the president who is not doing much to support Raila Odinga. They are actually frustrating President Uhuru Kenyatta's efforts to support Raila Odinga. Let me hear your opinion. Thank you guys, and may you have a good day. Bye-bye.